Hi everyone, it's Justine from Sacred Heart Homestead. Today I'll be taking you into my kitchen and showing you how to make sourdough hot cross buns. I started my buns the night before. To a mixing bowl, I added a half cup of active sourdough starter, 1.5 cups of milk, 4 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of cinnamon powder, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, half a teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of butter, and 1 egg. Once I added everything to the mixer, I started mixing it on low, slowly increasing the speed to about a medium. And I did this for about 5 minutes. Now this will depend on your mixer and its strength, so keep an eye on the dough. Once it seems like it's all together, do a window pane test on it, which means you take the dough and you check through it to see if you can see light. And if it has gotten to that point, go ahead and add 1.5 cups of raisins to the mix. Incorporate the raisins. You can either do this by continuing with the mixer a little bit longer or by kneading it with your hands like I'm doing here. Once the raisins have been well incorporated, take the dough and place it in a bowl, cover it, and let it rest overnight on your countertop. The next day or 8 hours later, take the dough out and cut it into 12 equal pieces. Once the dough is cut, roll it into a ball. Take that ball and fold the sides onto itself, and then press it up against the countertop and the palm of your hand to create some resistance. I've included different angles so you can really take a look at how I'm shaping these buns. If you can, try and press as many of the raisins inside the ball as possible. If you're finding the dough too sticky, you can always use some flour on the countertop to minimize the stickiness on your hands. Place the shaped buns on a parchment-lined baking sheet and let it rest on your counter for 2 to 3 hours. Next up, we'll be making the orange glaze. So first off, take 2 oranges and peel one of the oranges. We'll keep the rind of this one. Try to get as little of the white as possible. Once you're done doing that, cut the orange and try to take off as much of the white off the orange as possible, even the white in the middle. The white will lend kind of a bitter flavor to the glaze, so it's best to get as much off as possible. Add your peeled orange and the rind from the first orange to a blender. Add about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to the orange. Using your blender, incorporate everything together. If it's not mixing very well, you can add a little bit of water until the mixer starts working properly. Take the blended orange and lemon mixture and add to a pot. Add about a half cup of sugar and then mix everything over medium-low heat until everything is incorporated. You can check to see if the glaze is ready by putting it on a cold plate and checking to see its consistency. You're going to want it like a jam. Next up, add a half cup of flour to a bowl and add 6 tablespoons of water. Mix it together until the texture is slightly runny. You may need to add more water depending on the type of flour that you're using. Take a Ziploc bag or a piping bag, place it over a glass, and pour the mixture of the flour and water into it. Once the buns have proofed for the second time, take the bag and cut the tip off. Using this, carefully draw crosses across each of the buns, making sure to really hug the sides. Don't worry if it gets a little bit messy, you can always wipe it off the bun before you cook it. Place the buns in a 350-degree oven for 25 minutes or until the surface is golden brown. Once the buns are ready, take them out of the oven, place them on a baking rack, and add the orange glaze to the top while they're still warm. It may seem like the orange glaze is making everything look the same color, but as it dries and the buns cool down, the cross will become more and more prominent on your bun. And there you have it. That's how you make sourdough hot cross buns. You can eat these while they're still warm, or wait until Good Friday to eat them as they're traditionally known for. Either way, my favorite way to have mine is with a nice hot cup of tea. The full recipe will be in the description, so you can just click that little more button down below and it'll be right there for you. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more recipes like this.